What's up, YouTube? You already know what it is. Another video, another day, another double feature. We're going on all cylinders this week. And for this video, I wanted to dive a little bit into kind of some of the feel of Xeno. I'm in no way saying this is optimal. This is just kind of a place to start and just kind of a way to show some interactions, because I think there's a lot of good the deck can do, but it's going to take a lot of cracking. I mean, we're going to go directly into the plugs and then we'll get into it. And I'll try to make it as quick as possible this time. So there's the Facebook groups, like always, the official one where you're going to find your official announcement and spoilers. There's the group discussion where you're going to find a bunch of like-minded or not like-minded people that love the card game as much, maybe more, maybe less than you, but still a good place to be. And there's Universe X, where I will infrequently ask questions that will turn into topics for videos and announce when I'm going live and just try to interact with you guys where I can. Past that, there is the Discord where we do a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, I think it's actually worth joining. There's a lot of good information that gets thrown around there and lots of channels for a whole lot of things, and we're always making more. Lastly, if you don't mind, take a look at TCGMetalZ, because they make solid leaders, and I'm going to be making more. I'm going to be getting more leaders. I mean, I have a couple already, but they make solid leaders, and Chris is always on the move to make better and bigger art, flashier art, and it's just the gift that keeps on giving. And because we are so bro-like, I actually have a code that will take 10% off your entire purchase at TCGMetalZ. That's just UNIX. That's UNIX at checkout for 10% out. It'll help support the channel directly, and it's also going to get you deals on his sweet metal leaders. So, that being said, we are going to jump directly into the deck list. I'm going to explain, like I said, it's a very loose build because this one's very, very tricky. And what I mean by that is lots of the cards can change depending on the matchup and the format. So, with that being said, if this is the type of content you like, subscribe. And any criticism or constructive criticism in the comments would be much appreciated. So let's jump over into the untapped view. Alrighty then, so here we are. Sorry, I can't find the sites that actually have like more of this, kind of on it. So we're gonna have to do with what we're gonna have to do with. So of course, you guys should already know the leader. I did a video like this for the last set. The leader is Shinron. He's a blocker on both sides. On the front side, when you swing, you discard a card to draw a card. That's very important because he's a Shadow Dragon and he's black. So he's going to discard and he's going to proc lots of your effects. And then he can untap at the end of the turn. And then when you have 4 or less life or 7 or more black Shadow Dragon cards in your drop area, you may draw a card, switch one of your energy active mode, flip this card over. Very cool. So, a lot of the motif about this deck is that every card pretty much has the Shadow Dragon tag. All of your battle cards have the Shadow Dragon tag, but at the same time, your extra cards also have the Shadow Dragon tag. That's the first permanent element, they gain Shadow Dragon. Meaning that this effect that almost everyone has, if your leader card is a Shadow Dragon card, when this card is played from your hand or discarded by a Shadow Dragon card skill, you may look at the top card of your deck. If it is a black Shadow Dragon card, you may add it to your hand, otherwise place it at the bottom of your deck. So, you'll notice that this deck doesn't do a lot of drawing. The drawing is from the start of your turn, from your unison, and from your leader swing, the typical 3, which is actually fairly low. It's kind of crazy thinking that, oh, drawing 3 a turn is slow, but it is. And so it's a very good thing that all of these cards float. So when I built this deck, I had a couple things in mind. One, I want every single resolution of this effect to pick up a new card for me, so help me Jeebus. I don't want to be sitting out here with no hand, and this deck will get dangerously low regardless, so that's a part that maybe I just need to work on. Like I said, this is going to be a work in progress. I do want to work on this deck, and if anybody wants to join me, I invite you to the Discord. You join the Discord and you tell me you want to work on a set 15 deck, we'll make another channel for it, and everybody that wants to work on this deck can comment on it. I implore you, join the Discord, links in the description. But for now, what I've got here is I wanted to have 8 1-drops, because that's going to be a 1 energy investment to basically pick up the next card of my deck, plus whatever effect they have. This guy is going to allow me to play an extra card from my hand without its cost by using Spirit Boost 1, so that's actually very nice. And this one is going to allow me to cheat in a 3 cost, which is nice. Okay, cheat in at 3 cost or less for my hand and play it, which is basically just gonna be 3 cost. Moving on, because we want to be able to pick up every card, I am opting to use the Sparking Super combo. That is going to be Oceanic Shinron, because we can pick her up. Now, I have 3 Rage Shinron Powers of Darkness. This is rather a flex spot, but this guy is a negate, and when he comes into play, he'll do the normal Shadow Dragon thing. So he's a negate, and he goes down to 1, you know, if there's 7 more Black Shadow Dragon cards in the drop area. Next, we got Hey Shinron at 3, one of the better cards of the deck. He is a blocker, he is critical, and when he swings, he removes anything regardless of cost, so he's very, very valuable, and he will untap himself at the end of the turn. Very, very good. Next, we got Rage Shinron. This guy is pretty cool. I may take him down, but for the most part, right now, he is at 4 because he's able to untap your blocker or untap your leader from blocking and burst 1, which is a very, very important thing. Burst 1 is going to help fill up your graveyard, but also if you need to block 2 times, he can potentially add more counters to your unison. Next, you've got Ice Shinron. He's just at 2. He's a barrier blocker. He's gonna, all 3 drops are basically just going to be cheated into play with Hey Shinron, Power of Darkness. Next, you've got Nova Shinron, Negative Energy Explosion. He is a 3 cost, so once again, he's going to be cheated in, but when he gets played, he can play a Toa unison from your grave. So this is actually a really good recovery play, recursion, and he's able to restart your unison chain. Then you got this, he's an SR from the set, limit 1, burst 1. He's going to search top 5 for a Shadow Dragon battle card. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Next, we're gonna move on to the one, the only Oceanic Shinron, Negative Energy Explosion. Lots of people are not running these 2 cost negates anymore, and I think this leaves a lot of room for this to be played. Now, of course, against red, you're always going to be in danger of being crowned, and against blue, you could be God Sealing. But this guy is actually pretty good. This gal, she's going to be able to do a lot of floodgating. Then you've got the Omega Shinron Darkness Absorbed. It is unique, but the reason why I have it at 4 is because this guy is live on turn 2. As long as you have a body on board, you just pay a black and you put it to the grave and you play this guy. And then you use the normal effect, but you're also going to be able to warp something, and it's a 30k body. So that's actually really, really impressive. Next, you've got Omega Shinron, Ultimate Darkness. This is the boss card. It doesn't have anything special like, per se, barrier or deflect, but it is a unique triple strike that can come down as early as turn 3. So that's actually very, very strong. There's only 2 or 3 in the deck right now. Sometimes it's fodder. You're really only going to get this off once because it removes 7. That's a hefty amount. Next, we've got 4 of Unison, Toa Resonance of Shadow. Really, really good card, and you should already know what it does, but it's your draw engine. And also, -7, which is a little easier to get now, is your leader card is going to be able to, it's old Shinron's effect. You can remove like 7 dragons. Pretty ballin'. Next, we got 4 Negative Energy Explosions. It's going to allow you to just search the top 7 and either establish your unison or search a Shadow Dragon extra card. Ballin'. Next, we got Ultimate Whirlwind Spin. This one is going to search a battle card, actually. It's pretty cool. I might actually change the ratios. Next, you got Ultimate minus Energy Ball. This is the negate that's just going to warp something 15 or less. This could be at 2, but in all honesty, it's very, very hard to play, or to kind of like mentally just like put into a box, because a lot of this deck requires you to know what you're playing in the room. You know, there are certain ultimate attacks that are better against different decks, and you won't know those decks until you sit down and start playing them. Well, until you know what the format's gonna be shaping at. So these extra cards are definitely interchangeable depending on the format. Next, you got a 3 Ultimate Dragon Slaying Bullet because it is a good negate or a good counterplay to the Unison. You got Ultimate Ice Ray, and you know what? I'm actually just going to take Ultimate Ice Ray down and put Ultimate Whirlwind Spin up right now. But yeah, Ultimate Ice Ray, this is kind of like it's not dormant, but it's pretty real. And then you got Ultimate Dragon Tackle, which is going to be able to warp something off your opponent's field. So yeah, your opponent may choose one of the Unison cards and move 2 markers from it. If they don't draw 1 card, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to warp. Very, very nice. So, with all that being said, we are going to jump into just a couple mock hands so you guys know the deal. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna shuffle up, and to be honest, these hands are so loose. I would love to see the Unison in the first hand, but even if I don't see the Unison, it's kind of fine. A 1-drop is enough. So I'm gonna put these back and then shuffle. Haze is my preferred 1-drop because it allows me to open up a lot of plays. but we got the unison, and so we're gonna just rock it, okay? Since we have 2 of these, we're just gonna do the right thing, and we're going to play. Well, first, I guess we have to just set up life. That would be really good. But I just wanted to show you guys how this works and actually pay attention to the details. So we're just gonna play that. Tap this, play the unison. Now, the way you play against this deck is to literally just not allow it to, when you let the blocker happen, it gives this another unison. So you always want to swing at the leader, which is going to take heat off your unison. But at the same time, getting heat off your unison is fine and all, but then you're not tackling the unison. The unison actually be doing things. So you know what? We're gonna +1 it, and the way we +1 this thing, we draw 1 and we take 1 card from our hand and put it at the bottom of our deck. It's really just a cycle. So we're gonna add 1, and then we're gonna look at it. Negative Energy Dragon Ball is actually pretty good. So we're gonna bottom deck this one. Okay. And then they have a choice. They either swing at the leader and just take a life from me, or they swing at the unison and I block and still take that life, and the unison gets a marker. So there's no reason to swing at my unison here. So I'll just draw a card. Next turn, we'll draw. And we get the super combo. Cool. So I'm gonna play this. And this is where we'll start kind of taking off. I'm going to tap that, and we're going to play this man's. And after playing this dude, we're going to be able to look at the top card of our deck, and if it's a Shadow Dragon card, we had to add it to hand. It is, so we'll take it. We can't use her yet, and now that we've seen it coming, I don't want my opponent to know that this is waiting in hand. So I would actually kind of bait them, especially this early in the game. Next, I'm going to swing with my leader, and when I swing with my leader, I get to discard a card, which will be that one, and I get to draw a card. After drawing a card, I'm going to activate this guy's effect to look at the top card of my deck. It is a Shadow Dragon, we'll add it. So now we've got 2 super combos in hand, and this will stand at the end of the turn. Next, I am going to +1, so we will draw a card. We definitely don't need this yet. We can play it next turn though, so that actually is kind of a deal. And this is a good negate too. So I suppose out of all of these, we'll put the haze down. There's multiple more in the deck, we might as well. So we'll put the haze down. The next thing I am going to do is tap this, and we will play. We can keep our energy open, but we don't need to because we've got the negate here, right? And we've got this here. So I suppose there's a couple of things we can do here. This is actually kind of interesting. I could tap out just to play this one, and we don't need to get another unison, but we can at least get a battle card from hand, right? So, you know, get our options up. So we'll play this card. Limit 1. Yeah. If your card is a, let me just make sure you activate an extra card from you and your opponent. You and your opponent place the top card of your decks into the graveyard. And it says Shadow Dragon. So the first thing we're gonna do, this is when we activate. Yeah. Check, what is it, top 7, I believe. It's not gonna let me check 7. Okay, so we're gonna check top 7. We should be able to grab a Shadow Dragon extra. We'll take the, you know what? We will take the Ultimate Dragon Tackle. If they don't have a unison on board yet, this can do things. So we're gonna take the Ultimate Dragon Tackle, and we're gonna shuffle. And then we are going to put a card from the top of the deck, and then you mill 1 too. So now we've got 2 Shadow Dragons engraved. That's pretty cool. Now we've got 3 because that resolves. And then I'm going to remove that from the game to burst 1. Drop area, yep, another 1. So we have 4 now. And then after dropping that, I am going to look at the top 5 and take a battle card. Yes. So energy cost 5 or less. Wow. That's trash. I actually whiffed on that one. Doesn't feel good. Wow. Okay, well, that's up. Really, that's up. I thought I had enough to, you know, sometimes you're just not lucky. So that happens. And at this point, this guy can untap, And we've got a cool couple effects that go here, okay? Because now we can activate Dragon Tackle, but we can also activate Ultimate Minus Energy Powerball. Let's say they try to swing on, you know, my leader. Again, you don't have a reason to swing on Unison unless you know you can kill it in one strike, and even then I can block, so there's no reason to swing on Unison. So you can swing on my leader, and I actually don't care. Like, I can keep my cards, and that's fine. If you have another swing, that can work. If you don't, that's cool. If you have something I can use, I can always activate Battle. I have options. I can Spirit Boost to use Ultimate Dragon Tackle, or I can Spirit Boost, or I can just use this one for free. So as you can see, there's just options. That's the cool thing about this deck. So now we're at a space where we can do a little bit more, right? We have 4 here, and you know, we've got a Shinron over here. I'm trying to think of what I think is the best play. We definitely have Sparking, and we can use that to our advantage. So if I put this here, right? What do I want to do? We have to have... We definitely kind of don't want to use that. That's actually an issue. You can't really use this and Awaken in the same turn, so you can't really just be like, just... That's rough, that's rough. You can kind of see how this hand has very, very low cards in hand, and that frankly is an issue. It's an issue that's kind of annoying, but you can see how every card generally floats, and I can Awaken this turn easily. But what am I going to do with that Awakening? That's kind of the issue with the deck, so to speak. Right now I could warp this, discard this. Yep, and then we can search top 5. Top 5 gets us... We can take an Oceanic, we can take this, we can take a Rage, either one. We can take a Rage for a negate, that's not bad. So we can take a Rage for a negate, get a Shuffle in. With what we have in our hand, we don't need to even keep the Rage, but we have 5, so if I drop 2 more cards, right? Yeah, like I said, this is where it kind of gets a little interesting. I will swing, okay? And when I swing, I can then drop this to draw a card. And then we're going to check the top card of our deck, which unless it's Toa, we will draw. And after doing that, we now have 6 cards in grave. We can now +1 off of Toa, draw, put this back. And we have like multiple things we can do. I mean, I don't have to play really any of this. I could, but there's a lot of stuff. Like if we want to wall up for a barrier blocker, we could just play Ice Shinron right here. But I do want to... I would like to try to Awaken. I could swing with the Unison and we could super combo for literally no reason, just to draw. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, just to draw. And then, you know, this guy could lead to an Awakening. We could tap this. We haven't used this card all game. So we can tap this to play this. Remove something, check the top card of our deck. You see, it's all about a matter of floating. You're going to float with every single card in this deck. You can Awaken now. I believe if I Awaken, let's see, when you activate a Shadow Dragon card, this card attacks, draw 1 card. Yeah, so I think because I Awakened, the auto may not work. I have to actually see. But now we have more cards online. So we would draw and we would untap. And this is actually pretty good because now it doesn't matter. We can actually just hit that. We have this guy. We don't have a blocker on board. That may kind of be an issue. Gotta see. Gotta see. If we wanted to, because we have this many cards in hand, we could definitely play the triple strike and just let that bang. But yeah, that's kind of how that goes. I want to do one more hand because like I said, the deck is interesting. It floats. I'm not sure if it's impressive, if that makes sense. So we're gonna do one more. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. We went first last time, so we're gonna go second this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not a bad hand. That's actually not a bad hand. It really depends on how bad people want to play around this. I don't like holding this because you never, like, I mean, high chance. You can keep it in hand, but oops, high chance somebody is not going to allow that to happen. So looking at this hand, I'm going to put this one back because this is dead at this turn too. This is going to be live next turn. This is going to be live this turn. These two are always live, and they're going to help me level up. So we're going to draw 2 bet, and then we're going to put up our life. So going second, we're going to draw. That's pretty cool. We're going to charge this one because this one's so fodder, it's not even funny. I'm going to see my options. So we're going to do this. We're going to burst 1. And this is a 60 card tech, by the way. But we're going to burst 1, which happens to be the other barrier blocker? No, Ultimate Ice Ray. Okay, cool. And then we're going to search top 5. I would like a Hazy Shinron. That would be pretty cool. Hazy Shinron 1-drop, let me specify. And we don't get it because we are super plebeian. So we're going to take this 1-drop and we're going to put that down there. Shuffle. Then we're going to tap this for our Unison. And we're going to +1 our Unison to draw a card. And we have to discard a card. Or we have to bottom deck a card. It's kind of rough because I do want to keep that, but we're not going to be able to use it this turn, I guess. So, and we'll definitely get more. So I'm going to bottom deck this since it's one of the not usable cards. So I'm also going second. I can swing here. We have our Unison here. We have this here. This is the only card I think I want to get rid of. So we're going to discard this to draw. And that's our 1-drop Shenron. And then we will flip the top and take that other 1-drop Shenron. And we will pass, and this comes up. You want to swing at my leader because you do not want to give me the ability to use Toe's effect. Next, I'm gonna untap, draw. We got a little bit of gas here. We got a little bit of heat. I think what I want to do here, we want to keep these 1-drops because they actually do a lot of good. We don't necessarily have a need for this one yet. So I'm gonna play this, right? And we're going to tap that one for Haze. And Haze is going to check the top card of our deck. And like I said, unless it's a oopsies. Unless it's a Toa, I'm just going to be able to draw it. So we're going to take that. That's ballin'. We can decide what we want to do after we see our next card. But I would want to swing. I'll discard this 1-drop to draw a card. We'll check the top. We'll take it. And that's pretty much that one. We'll +1 with the Unison, bottom decking, well, drawing, and then we'll bottom deck this card regardless. And now we have an option, you know, if they have something we want to remove, we can play this, tap this, play this, check the top card of my deck. Of course, the Shadow Dragon, we're going to draw it, and then we're going to swing to just remove something. And at the end of the turn, we're going to untap and have 2 blockers. So this is kind of the way for this one. We have a lot of good we can do here. We can't cheat out any cards yet. Oh, that's one mistake I did. Did I start off this turn? This turn I played this, last turn I got that. Yeah, okay, so we remove this. We burst 1. Cool. Another one. And then we are going to look at top 5. And we'll take that. I thought we whiffed for a second. So, we're sitting at 8 cards in hand on turn 2. I mean, of course, again, you're going to want to swing at the leader. That's just how it is. There's no reason not to swing at the leader. There really isn't. And I have 4. That's a pretty comfortable size to awaken from next turn. Like, I feel pretty confident in awakening. I'm not going to remove all my cards yet, and like I said, this deck pretty much floats, so we'll charge the 8-drop, right? And now we have a lot we can do here. TBH. It's a matter of what we want to do, though. I mean, we actually have more options than not. I dig this. I really actually dig this. I mean, we can swing with our leader right here. And with our leader, it says we can discard a card. Now, what card do I want to discard? Actually, you know what? Let's gander real quick. We don't even need to do that right yet. We play this 1-drop Wicked. Wicked is going to flip the top. We are going to gain the Oceanic negate. Does that change my play? Not quite. We're gonna swing here. I don't think we're gonna need to block multiple times. Next go. But I do kind of want to awaken, so I'm kind of figuring out what I want to do here. That's a negate, but we have the best negate here, and now they know it's here, so they kind of have to play around it. We want to be able to block. Then we just drop this negate, right? And then we draw a card, and then that's perfect. And then after we draw a card, we flip the top, and we grab that one. So not even Crown can stop me now. You'd have to have a hard negate, so it really depends on the deck you're playing. And now we can go and pop that to draw one. I already know what I'm going to bottom. Oh, that's actually really juicy. We'll bottom that. Let's see if we can get another Rage Shinron. We're gonna remove this. We're going to burst one. And then we're going to look at top 5, and let's see if we can get another Rage negate. That would be beautiful. Unfortunately, we can't have nice things. So we'll take the 1 drop. That's tight, that's tight. And we will shuffle. We are at 6. So we can actually do a fair amount here. You know, depending on the deck, this will be a really good time to start playing out these Haze Shinrons. Like, I may not even need to negate. If it's this early in the game, we can play this and go directly into another one, activate its effect, flip top. It's dun 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 dun. Yeah, it's what we thought it would be. Swing here, and at this point, we really don't care. Like, I can just combo there just to be here, and we can open ourselves up again, actually. Yeah, I think that's the move. Yeah, we do that. We remove something from your side of the field, remove something from your side of the field, and then we untap. Yeah. To be honest, we could even wait until your turn. For real? Like, let's be real here. We that could actually be a gotcha play. They see that we're like this. We have 7 Shadow Dragon cards engraved. So just let them go into your play. Like, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen. And now you're at a weird position where, you know, I can block with multiple times. You're gonna probably swing at my leader. And if you swing at my leader, sure, I'll take it. But I'm also going to awaken, telegraphing that the next swing, if I don't like it, is just going to get Shinron, which will keep me alive. So we'll do that. We will literally draw a card, and that'll happen. So, I mean, you want to swing again, want to get froggy, we can definitely hit this. That's tight. The next turn, we're just pretty much cruising into theoretical La La Land. We drew a Unison, so we can charge a Unison. We don't want to shuffle anything back. Like, you can see, I don't have as many, like, this deck can be reactive when you use your Spirit Boost. So it really depends on all, you know, how you want to get there. But I mean, plusing 1 is going to draw, we're going to bottom deck, and you really have a lot of options. If you want to sort out the hand, I've got 3 different spells in here, or 3 different Shadow Dragon extras. I've got 2 super combos that are both live. I've got a Dark Broly, uncontrollable, you know. I've got a Shinron negate. I've got a Rage untap. There's a lot that you can do here. I mean, there really is. Swing, he goes up to 20k, I draw a card. That's awesome. We've already used that, Let's just, screw it. We can Spirit Boost. We can Spirit Boost to bring her down to 4. Actually, we want to keep her up because her ult is actually valid. Like, activate this. Play this. Look at top 5 and just grab any Shadow Dragon battle card, right? If we get another Haze, this is going to be monumental. Nope, but we have this. So, yeah. I mean, now we can really start testing the waters. Like, you play that. You warp something off their field and you swing for 15 critical. You warp something off the field and you swing for 15 critical. You do this and you send this to the grave in order to play out the 8-drop. You warp something else on their board. You swing in for 30. Like, this is wild. Like, and by wild, I mean, this is just, it feels fun to see this deck finally come together like this. It's not necessarily wild, but I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. Oh yeah, and I played this card. So since I played this card, I'm going to be able to... Oh, and I missed... See, that's the crazy part about this deck. I missed multiple triggers. Since I activated this, I would be able to then discard one of these cards, which will allow me to flip top, which will allow me to get this card, and then activating or playing this guy allows me to flip top again and take that card. So you start floating. The more effects you can force through, the more you float. And yeah, that's kind of how this deck is working. I think, like I said, it's going to take a lot of practice. It's kind of weird because the less archetype cards you run, the more risk you run of, you know, this happening where you flip the top and you don't get to take it. The way this deck is built for this draft, the only 4 cards that are not able to be gotten off the top of the deck are Toas. So if you dodge them, every time you summon or discard a Shadow Dragon, you're just going to replace it in hand. And I think that you need to get the ratios very, very tight because you never want to whiff on that because the deck doesn't have a lot of hand in general. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, if you want to work on this deck, just join the Discord and say so. We'll make a channel and we will craft away. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the content, think about hitting that subscribe button. I will see you the next time inside Join Universe X. Later.